welcome to the grand finale, the round to rule them all. The My Bike Motorcycle Insurance Australian Superbike Championship, presented by Motul, has made it to the Bend, the internationally acclaimed world-class motorsport precinct in sunny South Australia, and every class has come down to the wire. Our front runners can smell that silverware and taste that champagne. Hello, I'm Kate Peck, and with me is former World Endurance and ASBK champion Steve Martin. Steve, how is this for some cracking weather? The beautiful Bend, we're here, we made it.
Absolutely, I love coming to this place. It's such a beautiful circuit, what a layout it is, and it creates such amazing racing. I cannot wait for this day to get started.
Well, and what a circuit it is to do it, Steve, because we've got the Bend and 18 corners and 4.9 kilometres of action. Talk us through the lap.
Yeah, it's an absolutely fantastic circuit. It is just such a long circuit here, hard on the brakes into that left-hand corner. Then we've got these right-handers. You just flip through these. You've really got to keep your momentum up. And then it's a quick flick to the left and onto the right. A little bit of a rest on that short straight there and hard braking into the Alpine Stars corner. On the run home, we turn left through Motul. It's a long, long left-hand side of the tyre there. Easy to high side, we've seen that. Through the right, then down into the hard braking Michelin corner. Easy to get caught out there too. Keep the momentum up, down through Yamaha corner, down that straight and over the finish line where you're doing roughly 300 kilometres an hour on these superbikes.
And first up, we've got the SuperSport 300 category. This championship is going right down to the wire as well. Cameron Swain currently leads by 14 points as we have a look at the Honda highlights of race number 2. And there were so many highlights as they made their way down towards turn 1 for the first time. Everyone trying to get in behind. Cameron Swain on board bike number 26, utilised his slipstream to get a good run down into turn 1. In the end, it was Henry Snell and Brodie Gorth that were in the lead, with Henry Snell on board bike number 12 taking the lead for the first time.
Yeah, local boy there, Geordie Simpson, slotted himself into 4th place, but it wasn't the race to be for Henry Snell. That was at the end of his championship charge too. Brodie Gorth up the inside there was looking for a way through later on in the race, and Marcus Amott put himself in that front group too. Yeah,
the first 4 really broke away from the rest of the pack and left Taylor Ralph and a few other riders to scrap over the minor positions. But positions constantly changing in this lead group before. Swain was at the front 1 minute, he was 4th place the next. Marcus Amott also led plenty of the races as well on board the Motor City bike number 13. But as they came around the outside of Ducati corner, Brodie Gorth was absolutely spectacular.
Absolutely, look at him up the inside there. But how good was Geordie Simpson? He gave it everything in this race. This is the best we've seen him ride. But Marcus Amott hit the front, and at one point, Brodie Gorth, look at that, he nearly threw it away. He definitely threw away his chance of a race victory. Marcus Amott went into that final corner looking like he was going to get victory, but Cam Swain opened the throttle, didn't he? Look at that.
He got great drive out of the final corner. Didn't even really utilise the slipstream. It was just drive out of the last corner that got him across the line. He eventually took the race win by a very, very narrow margin over Marcus Amott. And the story now with the championship is Cameron Swain leads on 311 points. Marcus Hamid in 2nd place on 297. And Brandon Demery has moved up into 3rd place on 284.
One of the riders there checking the dirt out on the warm-up lap.
A few riders have done that this weekend. Cameron Swain will start from pole position. Geordie Simpson, very excited to be on the front row of the grid with him. And Brodie Gorth on board bike number 25. The first of the Megacycle machines rounds out that front row, with Henry Snell, his teammate Brandon Demery, and Marcus Hamid on the Motor City entry, rounding up row 2.
Casey Middleton, Josh Newman and Ryan Larkin on row 3, with Sam Pizzetta, who we spoke about, starting row 4 with Taylor Ralph. She's fast, keep an eye on her. And Archie Smith, the young South Australian, he's got some pace about him too. Tara Morrison, Ryder Gilbert and Will Nassif on row 5.
Yeah, Calvin Moylan on one of the race DNA Kawasaki's back there on row 6, along with Harry Watts and Lincoln Knight. Getting ready for a start now. The red flag of Stan Phillips leaves the front of the grid. Heads are down, the revs are rising. SuperSport 300 is go for the final time in 2023. And as they blast off the line and come down towards turn 1, everybody tries to get into the slipstream of Geordie Simpson and Cameron Swain, who are banging elbows as they come down into turn 1 for the first time. right out to the left-hand side of the circuit. It is Henry Snell on board bike number 12, but it's the Hammer. It's Hammer time at the front as they go into turn 1 for the first time. Marcus Amott into the lead on board the Motor City entry bike number 13, and Josh Newman, he's come from the clouds up into second place on board the Wet For You Racing bike number 17.
Yeah, what a start there by Josh Newman. He really got on the brakes hard up the inside. Hard to make that move there because it is slippery on that inside part of the circuit, but he's pulled it off and he's put himself in the perfect position. Cam Swain back in the pack at the moment. That won't matter to him. We've seen how quick he can carve his way to the front.
Josh Newman into the lead now at Yamaha Financial Services. The corner down the hill there at turn 6, but as they head now towards the very fast right-hand corners, it is Brodie Gorth on board bike number 25 that has come around on a very tight line to take up the race lead, with Geordie Simpson slotting his way into 4th place. Cameron Swain has made his way up to 5th now, and unfortunately looks like one rider has gone down. I don't quite know where that is, Steve. It looks like it might be early on the lap. Looks like
Ryder Gilbert, I think.
Daly
Mills. Yeah, Daly Mills has gone down, I think.
So a few riders down on this first lap. It is Brodie Gorth, Josh Newman, Marcus Amott and Geordie Simpson, our top 4. Then it is Swain, Henry Snell, Taylor Ralph right there with the lead group as well. What a return to racing for Taylor Ralph. She's not going to want to give up racing again now after a weekend like this. Hasn't raced competitively at the front of this field for a couple of years. And there she is in the lead group as Josh Newman goes back into the front. He's got the Johnny Ray replica. He's channeling a bit of Johnny Ray now as he comes through the Motul corners and down towards Michelin for the completion of this first lap in the final SuperSport 300 race of the year. Just looking to see Marcus Hammond come down the inside. The full chicken wings happening there for Josh Newman as he blips the throttle and goes back down through the gearbox of Paul Grant Mitchell's Kawasaki Ninja 400. Out onto the straight we go. Let's go to see who utilise this slipstream the best. Geordie Simpson's probably in a great position here to get the triple slipstream.
We'll keep an eye on Cam Swain as well because he's pretty good at picking up the slipstreams down the straight, and he's got himself in that perfect position. You can see him now. He's about to pull out to the left-hand side of your screen, and he makes his way up the inside into turn 1 and moves himself into second. Oh, very, very close there with Hamad in 3rd place. Geordie Simpson's still there, and there's Brodie Gorth as well. And Taylor Ralph, she is making her way forward. She's passed Henry Snell as well now.
Well, she's been doing plenty of riding at the Southwest Track Days where she does a lot of coaching work with her partner Ted Collins and skilling young people up. And one of their proteges is, of course, young Ella McCausland, who we've seen in the Blue Crew Oceania Junior Cup. As flying down the inside was Marcus Hammond on board bike number 13. But Josh Newman almost seemingly heard that there was people coming, let off the brakes and rolled into the turn 6 area very, very quickly. He maintains the lead as they come out, cutting a very tight line once again. This time it is Cameron Swain on board bike number 26, round through the fast right hand as we go. Hammond's back to 4th place. Taylor Ralph trying to move her way forward as well. That crash earlier on was Justin Kaiser and JB Zhang. They both crashed at turn 6. Good news is, Steve, that they're both up.
Yeah, Newman is so good on the brakes. I mean, he really does have the ability and stability in that bike to be able to just leave that braking to the absolute last minute. Looks like the guys can't go, but then up the inside goes Swain this time. Got a good slipstream. Bit of argy-bargy there. Look at those guys connecting elbows.
Here riders having to change their line because they were getting pushed a little bit wide by the elbows of the rider next to them. Geordie Simpson's now up into 2nd place on board the Simpson Crash Machine, bike number 33.
Good job there by Josh. Geordie Simpson in that 2nd spot at the moment. Marcus Amott. Cam Swain, he needs to keep himself out of trouble. Like, the last thing he needs to do is get involved in someone's silliness. All he's got to do is roll around, but we know what it's like when you're a young kid. You want to give it everything you've got, don't you? I mean, he wants to win this in style, but you know, sometimes that can get you into trouble, so it's going to be interesting to see how he plays it as he goes around the outside of everyone.
Championship points change every time that there is an overtaking manoeuvre at these corners as well, Steve. So what we need to know is that when we came into this round, Cameron Swain had about a 14-point lead over the rest of the field. At the moment, if they were to finish in this order, as it is at that particular corner, well, then there would be a little bit more of a difference. And Cameron Swain would eventually be your championship winner for the SuperSport 300 category, but anything can and will change in this category, that we can guarantee.
Bit of a bobble from our leader there at that time through the Honda corner, which gives Marcus Amott the slipstream up the outside, but Brodie Gorth gets the best drive of everyone.
Well, Marcus back into the lead on board the Motor City bike. relegating the Megacycle machine back to second place, and the Simpson crash entry back to third.
Look at Ralph now.
I think she went in there that hot. She actually lost a little bit of drive coming out of that corner.
Yeah, she was really tight on the inside there, but she's like definitely up there.
She got a short back and sides on the way out of there, I think, from Sam Pizzetta was one of the riders, and also Brandon Demery, two of the hard chargers in this field. Through Michelin we go. No surprise to see Brodie Gorth on board bike number 25 show off his massive set of rotors down at the bottom of the hill there at Michelin. Through the final corner and out onto the straight we come. This will complete lap 3 of the 7-lap journey. Marcus back into the lead. Out of the slipstream comes Josh Newman. Cameron Swain pulls out of the slipstream as well and goes back into the lead. Seemingly does that with ease every single lap, does Cameron Swain. Doesn't matter where he is coming onto the straight. Brandon Demery's arrived as well, around the outside of Marcus through turn 1 and turn 2. As we mentioned, Brandon Demery actually works at Moto City, the dealership that's entered Marcus Hamilton board bike number 13. Those two know each other very, very well. They were working together somewhat as a team in qualifying too, weren't they? Following each other around, giving each other a bit of a tow.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, I mean, you can be assured that Demery, having his last 300 ride this weekend, will be, you know, looking out for Marcus and Mod for sure on track there. But I've got to say that I'm impressed with the way that Marcus has improved over the weekend. He's gone from like being in that third position to starting to lead. I mean, he's improving every time he gets on that motorcycle and learning, and that's what it's all about. It's just such a cutthroat class. You can see how he's trying to dive up the inside there, just trying everything that he can, and every passing manoeuvre he can.
Nice tight line there on the exit of Honda for Marcus Hammond on board the Motor City machine. Gets up the inside of the Megacycle bike of Henry Snell. Swain tries to come up onto the inside. Snell's been relegated a couple of positions in 2 corners there on bike number 12. Now he's going to come under the attention of Geordie Simpson on board bike number 3 and his teammate Brodie Gorth, who goes up the inside of Simpson.
How tight is this at the front, Phil?
I'd like to know a stat that it would be impossible to try and do. How many changes of the lead have there been over the entire season in the SuperSport 300 category? You'd need a big bit of paper to write all the passes down on, Steve.
You can't even work that out in this race. I mean, basically in that you've got 9 guys and girls in that group there, like within a second. That's how tight it is at the moment.
And Josh Newman's gone back into the lead now with a big outbreaking manoeuvre at the bottom of the hill at Michelin. Out onto the straight we come.
Yeah, I don't know what they've changed on Newman's bike, but he's certainly found some decent pace in this race. He's another guy that's been working his way up throughout this, you know, this weekend.
I think what's held him back so far is he hasn't got good starts in the previous 2 races. The lead group's got away, and he didn't have the pace to go with them. This one, he got a fantastic start, and there he is battling for the race lead as they come down into turn 1. Almost coming into contact with Marcus there as they made their way through turn 1. Henry Snell and Brodie Gorth back in the action. Snell's just been pushed back by both. Oh! That's Geordie Simpson. Geordie Simpson is down on the exit of the corner, and that bike has done a few somersaults. And Geordie won't be celebrating in the AMX Superstores podium like he has done this weekend.
Yeah, that just looked like it could have been Sam Pizzetta. Went in a bit hot, took him out up the inside. Pizzetta still in that group. Let's see.
Yeah, it was a pretty sitting in about 4th or 5th.
Yeah, that was a pretty hard hit, whoever did hit him there, but nevertheless, the race continues at the moment. Unfortunately, Geordie Simpson, as we have a look in the AMX replay, he tips in Pizzetta up the inside, and it wasn't Pizzetta that got him. It was one of the Megacycle riders.
Yeah, I think it might have been Henry Snell on board bike number 12 that gave him a bit of a shunt. Yeah. Because Sam Pizzetta and Geordie Simpson have both got matching Alpine Stars leathers on. Unfortunately, a few more scuffs on Geordie Simpson's than Sam Pizzetta's at the moment after that crash. Having a look to see how much the riders behind managed to catch up. It was only fractional. Henry Snell's actually just done the fastest lap of the race at 2:08.992. Also, Josh Newman and Brandon Demery also did their fastest laps of the race as well, but they're getting down towards the lap record set by Brandon Demery back in 2021 of a 2:08.963. That last lap was only 3/100ths of a second off that lap record.
Well, it's a pretty impressive lap time when you consider that we're in the last lap of the race. The conditions are quite hot and heated.
And Snell's back onto this grid.
Wow, how did Snell do that? This is going to be a hell of a lap from Snell, that's for sure.
Well, almost a lap record, and the very fast first third of the final lap has brought Henry Snell well and truly back into the equation. Hold on to your hats, ladies and gentlemen. Once Henry Snell's arrived, anything can and will happen as Marcus Hammond leads them through Honda Corner. Bit of a bobble there for Brodie Gorth. Swain has a look over his shoulder, and all he can see is that Henry Snell has joined the party, and he's got the party hat on, and he's about ready to start blowing the kazoo.
Yeah, absolutely. Hamad leads the way as they head up the hill through the Tech Air 5 corner. Beautiful through there, holds it tight. Up the inside goes Snell, straight past Swain. He makes the move, nice and tight on the ripple strip on the inside there. Swain not in the ideal position to win this one. Remember, he doesn't need to win the championship though.
Marcus takes the lead going down through the final corner. It is the Megacycle men that will be able to utilise his slipstream though as he comes out onto the straight if he remains in that position. Snell down the inside. Is he going from third to first? He tries to out-muscle his teammate as they come down through the final corner where Brodie Gorth is very good as well. But we're going to the final corner now. It is Hammond leading on board the Motor City entry from the Megacycle riders. Cameron Swain in fourth. They come out and they charge towards the flag. It is Marcus. Can he take the win? He's going to get there just, or is it Henry Snell that gets there? No, I think it might have been Brodie Gorth that just got there, was it?
I think it's Marcus.
It is so close.
Another dead heat.
It's a photo finish.
I think they need to move that finish line away from that dead heat position, don't you? We've had a lot of those this weekend.
Well, regardless of the race result, Cameron Swain wins the Australian 300 Supersport Championship with that fourth place finish.
What a year he's had.
So he'll be joining our top three riders on the podium, but congratulations to Cameron Swain. What a season he has had on the Caboolture Yamaha.
He gave it everything, didn't he? I mean, what a ride, what a year. Incredible stuff by that young man there. He's still a boy, isn't he? I mean, we caught up with him the other night and, you know, he's down to earth and he knew what he had to do this weekend and he did it. Won just about every race he entered. This one, it didn't quite go his way. He got the fourth, but that was enough to win that championship.
Yep, the points gap would have been reduced, but by not enough to hold off the challengers. And Marcus Hammond came very close in the end, but Cameron Swain wins the Australian Supersport Championship for the Supersport 300 class. Sam Pizzetta pulls up there to congratulate him as well. It's the pat on the head from one of the most experienced riders in the field, Brandon Demery, also having his final race as a Supersport 300 rider. There is confirmation of the results. 0.011, the eventual winning margin for Marcus Hammond on board the Motor City entry, bike number 13, over Brodie Gorth. Henry Snell in third place. Cameron Swain takes the championship and fourth place. Brendan Demery in fifth. Josh Newman in sixth. Great ride from him. Sam Pizzetta in seventh. Great to see him back at the front. Taylor Relms in eighth. Calvin Moylan in ninth. Will Nassif rounds out the top 10.
Tara Morrison, good result from her after an off earlier on to get 11th. Ryder Gilbert, 12th for the young South Australian from Hindmarsh Island. Harrison Watts in 14th as well. So there were some great results there from all of those guys.
Yes, the champion, the 2023 champion of the Supersport 300, Cameron Swain. Congratulations, you stayed out of trouble. So much strategy to win this championship. Well done.
It's been absolutely insane this year. Like, the amount of work me and my dad, my whole family, all my sponsors and supporters have put in is just ridiculous. So much blood, sweat and tears. But, you know, that race, honestly didn't even know if I won it on the in-lap, but so I wasn't really celebrating too much. I didn't want to be too cocky too quick, but I just played it smart. You know, I was at the front on those last couple of laps and I pulled out a gap with 3 other boys, and then I just sat safe in fourth and brought home the championship. So I'd just like to thank everyone so much for all their help. I won't be able to remember you all, but thank you so much. Good job to all the other boys. Thank you.
Congratulations. You go enjoy these celebrations.
Thanks heaps, Kate.
Some nice moments here, and I'm going to have to kick you two off of the podium because Marcus Hammond has finally pulled through with a win. A huge, huge achievement for you. Well done.
Thank you very much. Look, after round 2 at Eastern Creek, if you told me I'd finish second in the championship, I wouldn't believe you. So, but yeah, I just want to say a big thank you to everyone who's behind this, and especially ASBK for holding such a great year. And yeah, just want to say a big thank you to everybody back at home, and yeah.
Well done. You enjoy these celebrations as well.
Thank you very much.
Well, what a fantastic result. That was a brilliant race.
Plenty more action coming up. Blue Crew Junior Cup up next. Welcome back to the Bend. We are getting ready for the next race in the Blue Crew Oceania Junior Cup. Let's have a look at the highlights of race number 2 of the Honda highlights. A great start there for Archie Smith, who started out at pole position as they made their way down towards turn 1. The entire field fanned out across the straight, but it was Smith that led them through turn 1 for the first time.
Yeah, Archie Smith was on an absolute mission throughout the weekend, wasn't he? But look at Ella McLaughlin there. She was really mixing it up with the boys. And I tell you what, she's a talent to watch out for in the future. There were bikes aplenty all over the place, Phil, and they really did give it everything they got. The thing about this class is how close they get down the straight. I mean, have a look at these guys. They're such bunched together. It's an incredible thing. We had a faller earlier on. That was Ella that went down. But when it came to it, they started to fall off left, right and centre. But nevertheless, over the line it was. Archie Smith doing the best he could with Ricky Henry. They were having a fantastic dice, but Archie Smith was the man on a mission, and he had it all his way, didn't he?
Yeah, they certainly did. They pulled out a massive gap over the rest of the field. In the end, though, it was Archie Smith that took the win by 0.321 of a second over Ricky Henry, and then it was another 4.3 seconds back to Bodie Page, who took third place in the race. In the championship standings, heading into this final race, the championship has still not been decided, but it is a very handy lead now for Archie Smith as they come into this race. 302 to 286, and Archie Smith will start from pole position with Riley Norder and Ricky Henry joining him on the front row of the grid. Bodie Page, Jake Page and Valentino Nezovic in row 2, Alexander Cody, Hunter Corney and Ella McCausland out of row 3, with Rossi McAdam, Oscar Lewis and Isaac Ayard on row 4.
Andrew Lazos and Fife on the row 5. Row 6 is Fordyce, Charlotte and Lewis down in 18th position. Massive field here in these Blue Crew Oceania Junior Cup. Can't wait to get this race underway and get another championship started.
Final race of the Blue Crew Oceania Junior Cup season for 2023. As we mentioned, the championship standings coming into this race, a 16-point lead for Archie Smith over Bodie Page. Hayden Fordyce, who starts a long way back on the grid, is in third place in the championship, 21 points behind Page. Junior Cup is go as they make their way off the line, and once again another cracking start for Archie Smith on board bike number 69. I think he's been going to the dragway just up the road, Steve, the way he's been getting those starts all weekend. And as they make their way down towards AWMF corner for the first time, riders all now starting to pull out of the slipstream. Is that bike number 48?
Valentino Nezovic, he's just up there too, and it's Archie Smith in second position now. Ricky Henry's up there, and Ricky Henry leads the way.
Riley Norder was also very quick on the brakes into turn 1 on board bike number 42, and I think he's moved up into third position. They come out of turn 3 and head up over Ducati at turn 4. Henry's lead was very quick because coming up the inside, is it now Archie Smith on board bike number 69? Also Norder coming up the inside as well. You can see the use of the slipstream between those couple of corners, something you don't see on the bigger bikes, but certainly on the R15s, everything is an opportunity to slipstream around here.
Yeah, absolutely. These guys do, use everything, every part of the track to slipstream, even through the middle of the corners, because they're just so, the throttle is open so much around this track. It's looking like Ella McLaughlin's not in the race, so perhaps she has done some sort of injury, or they couldn't get that bike going. So unfortunately, Ella not starting this one by the look of it.
So down through Honda we go. Our current race leader, bike number 69, Archie Smith. Where is Riley Norder? He'd pushed his way forward up into a second position. Big look over the shoulder there for Nicholas Lazos on board bike number 11. Bodie Page up into a third place. AWMF corner for the first time, and I think you'll find it is bike number 55, Jake Page, that has gone to the lead.
Yeah, Jake Page is up there at the moment, so that was good because he was one of the riders that fell off earlier today, so he's made a good comeback recovery from that. No lingering effects. Still a long way to go in this one, though. Ricky Henry in that top group. And up the inside.
Well, Jake Page and Ricky Henry, not the first time that they've raced each other this year across several different categories. South Australian and the Queenslander doing a pretty good job, but Riley Norder on board bike number 42 has put himself back in the equation, slotting up into a third position.
Archie Smith back in front.
Of course, part of the package, which I think is about $12,500 for the 2024 season, Steve. You pretty much get everything supplied. You turn up to every round. The Blue Crew Junior Cup team prepare your bike for you. They put on your Dunlop tyres. You get a set of Racondi leathers. You get a Shark helmet. You get a set of boots and gloves. The whole kit and caboodle is provided in that $12,500, and you're set up to go racing for the entire year. You've just got to get yourself into the round. It's almost like you're a factory rider every weekend. And you've also got rider coach Gary McCoy helping you out with tactics and riding skills throughout the year.
Definitely a very good way to start your road racing career, isn't it? And it's a very affordable way to do it. Fantastic effort by everyone involved to get this class up and running, and it's given all of these young riders a good opportunity to get into the sport, which perhaps they might not necessarily have had.
Well, we've watched racing so far this year in SuperSport 300 and also in the SuperSport category. A lot of those riders have actually started their careers in this junior class. And you see the likes of the former champions, Cameron Swain, Harry Watts, all now racing in the SuperSport 300 category. The first champion, Carter Thompson, has been racing overseas. Marianus Nicholas also been racing overseas. He won the championship in the second year. So there's certainly plenty of champions that have gone on to bigger and better things, both overseas and here in Australia.
Ricky Henry down in that lead now as he leads into turn one. Good job by him. Bodie Page in that sixth position, just dropped off a little bit, but Ricky Henry leads the way with all the main protagonists, especially Archie Smith, who's been in a world of his own at the moment. He's right there. He's always near the front, and it is those two South Australians that ran away with it earlier on today. Jake Page went with him, but he couldn't sustain the pace and lost the front. So it's pretty much 1, 2, 3. Let's see what Jake Page can do this time. Hopefully he can keep his cool and stay with them all the way to the end.
Yeah, confirmation from Race Direction, Steve, that Ella McCausland, bike number 61, has been sent to hospital for a few checks after her crash earlier on today. So hopefully Ella will be back for the 24 season, whether it's on an OJC bike or hopefully on a SuperSport 300 bike, and maybe riding with her mentor, Taylor Ralph, in the SuperSport 300 category.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd want to ride with Taylor Ralph. She's pretty quick. So definitely a good teacher.
Down through Honda we go. The lead at the moment is being disputed by the South Australian duo of Archie Smith and Ricky Henry.
With Riley Norter in third at the moment. Valentino Nezovic is in that group too. He's improving all the time.
Well, Valentino Nezovic is another rider that's doing the OJC SuperSport 300 double. He's in plenty of track time for him this weekend. The second of the Moto City entries, bike number 48 in the SuperSport 300 category.
Yeah, it's definitely a good way for these, these kids to get extra experience, to race in as many classes as they can, and especially on different bikes as well, because it just gives new experiences every time they go out on the track. So, the more riding at this age, the better. And if you can mix it up by riding different classes, well, that's even better. Again, you're going to learn a lot more.
So Oscar Lewis up into a 9th position. I think that would probably be one of his best positions of the year for the rider on board bike number 26. The two Lewis brothers riding in this class. Ricky Henry with a very colourless helmet there, the all black helmet.
Yeah, Valentino Nezovic, there he is again. good job by him to be able to stay with this group.
Riley Norder having a big look over the shoulder, Fabian Ferret style.
Yeah,
or,
well,
as Supersport 300, Cameron Dunker used to do that at every opportunity, didn't he, at that part of the track?
Yeah, Norder and Nezovic have definitely found pace that they didn't have earlier on to be able to stay with these front three who have had something a little bit special all weekend long. The two South Australians, Henry and Schmidt, have been running away with it. Jake Page was able to stay with them until he fell off, but then they were in a league of their own. Now, Nezovic and Norder are able to stay in that group, and up the inside goes the number 55. Can't quite pull it off, though. He run wide. That's Riley Norder, I think, that's run off.
No, that's Jake Page on bike number 55. But Valentino Nezovic hasn't actually stood on the top step of the podium in 2023, but he has finished on the podium 7 times so far. So trying to get his 8th podium of the year in the final race is Valentino Nezovic. Here we go, AMX Superstores replay of Jake Page just running off there. Yeah. Well, that area of the circuit has claimed a few riders this weekend, hasn't it, Stephen? It was identified by Troy Herfoss as one of the tricky points that you had to try and get right, and the talking point of this Bend facility.
Absolutely, but unfortunately for the number 55, it's dropped him back down the order somewhat, and that's left the group of 4 up the front now. Nezovic is in that 3rd position. I'm sure that he'd love another podium, but I tell you what, he's so close to that win. Wouldn't he love to get one of them?
Around the outside goes Ricky Henry on board bike number 36, trying to get the better of his fellow South Australian. Does he go down the inside now? No, on the inside line is Archie Schmidt. There was no way through up the inside at turn 6. We're on the final lap, and we're getting out top. No, a big look over the shoulder there from Archie Schmidt, and you can see that there are plenty of people right behind.
Yep, you're not on your own, Archie.
I think he knows now that he's going to have to probably play his cards right through the final sector if he wants to take this win and make it 3 race wins at the final round and the championship as well.
Well, you know he's thinking about what's going to happen now, isn't he? Like, he's had a look behind to see, okay, if I do make a mistake and we're going to still finish on the podium. And the answer to that is if you make a mistake, no, you're not going to finish on the podium. You're going to finish 4th. So he's got to put it all together now and be absolutely perfect through these last few corners.
Well, the good news for him is that his closest championship challenger, Bodie Page, is back in 9th position. So
Ricky Henry,
he is 29 points ahead in the championship if he wins the race. But that's certainly not a given as they head through Motul now and go down to the final sector of this 4.9 kilometre facility here at the Bend. And our championship contender, Archie Schmidt, on board bike number 69, is in this lead group. He's leading, but that challenge is being thrown out now by Ricky Henry, who's taken the race lead. Valentino Nezovic has moved up into 3rd position. Riley Norder in 4th. Schmidt now is coming up the inside. Is he going to utilise? No, he's not going to utilise the slipstream coming onto the straight. He's going to try and lead them to the line as they come out of the final corner. Schmidt leads, Henry in 2nd place. Henry ducks into the slipstream, tries to pull out. He's not going to be able to do it. It's going to be 3 from 3 for Archie Schmidt. 3 from 3, and the championship for the Blue Crew Oceania Junior Cup for 2023 goes to the South Australian, Archie Schmidt, on board bike number 69. Takes another race win, the perfect weekend for the youngster. In 2nd place was Ricky Henry, and Valentino Nezovic gets his 8th podium of the year as well on board bike number 48.
Yeah, what a ride from Archie Schmidt, and what a year he's had. What an incredible weekend he's had. Wow, and he almost got the lap record in that race as well. In fact, the lap record did go. Valentino Nezovic got it at 29.8, so good job by Valentino Nezovic. Gets the 3rd spot on the podium and the lap record, but it's all about Archie Schmidt.
So 6 race wins for Archie Schmidt, including that final one by 0.093 of a second over Ricky Henry. Valentino Nezovic rounds out the podium, only 0.4 of a second behind. Riley Norder just off the podium in 4th place on board bike number 42. Jake Page in 5th place on board bike number 55. Oscar Lewis in 6th. Alexander Cody in 7th. Isaac Ayard in 8th. Hayden Fordyce will wrap up 3rd place in the championship with 9th position. Bodie Page rounds out the top 10.
11th is Hunter Corney, Rossi McAdam in 12th, Elijah Andrew 13th, Jed Fife in 14th, Ethan Johnson gets that final point, Hunter Charlotte 16th, 17th Nicholas Lazos, and 18th is Connor Lewis.
The riders have made their way back to the AMX Superstores podium, and our champion is there. Time to hear from Archie Smith, the 2023 Blue Crew Oceania Cup Junior Champion. He's with Kate.
Indeed he is. Congratulations, you are the Blue Crew Oceania Junior Cup Series winner. What a season it was for you, you pocket rocket. Tell us all about it.
Well, it was a great season, racing with all these boys, having all the amazing people around me, and having to come back from a long way away to win this championship.
We got so many friends and family here. We're going to see you back again next year?
Nah, not in the OJC because I'm in the Australian Cup, so I'll be over there. But I will be racing the 300.
Okay, exciting times. So you go enjoy this series week. Congratulations, Archie Smith.
Thank you.
Well, congratulations to Archie Smith. Yes, big news. One of the Australians selected for the Asia Talent Cup in the 2024 season. Hopefully we'll get to see him racing here as well. So your final championship standings was Archie Smith on 327, 30 points ahead of Bodie Page in second place on 297. Hayden Fordyce, despite qualifying a long way back on the grid this weekend, held on to third ahead of Riley Norder in fourth, Valentino Nezovic in fifth, Jake Page finishes in sixth, Hunter Corney in seventh, Pelgrave in eighth, not racing this weekend, Fife in ninth, and Ricky Henry rounds out the top 10. R3 Cup up next. Yamaha Financial Services R3 Cup coming up next, and Brodie Gorth will start in the front row of the grid with Cameron Swain and Geordie Simpson joining him on row 1. Henry Snell, Marcus Hammond and Brandon Demery out of row 2.
Larkin, Pizzetta and Middleton are your row 3. Row 4 is Harrison Watts, Valentino Nezovic and Will Nassif. Ryder Gilbert, Calvin Moylan and Lincoln Knight from row 5, and row 6 will be Abby Cameron, but she won't be in this one because she's got an injury sustained earlier today. Just see there the riders making a couple of adjustments as we get ready for the start. Sam Phillips at the start line there with the red flag up.
Getting ready for a start. Final race for the Yamaha R3 Cup. And R3 Cup is go. Steve, good start from our pole man, Brodie Gorth. Cameron Swain will slot into his slipstream. Geordie Simpson comes across and pushes Henry Snell sideways as they make their way down towards turn 1 for the first time. But the R3 Cup has come right down to the wire like every other championship. And looking up the inside, is that Calvin Moylan on board bike number 27, taking an interesting line into turn 1. Marcus Hammond is a long way back in the field. We've seen him racing at the front in all of the championships, but no surprise to see Cameron Swain on bike number 26 lead them through turns 1 and 2.
Absolutely. Guy Plowman there as well, just down there in 14th position at the moment. Ryder Gilbert got a good start. He moved up 3 spots, so a good start there by Ryder Gilbert. Geordie Simpson moves himself up into that 3rd position. He's been near the front every race that he's been in so far this weekend. Marcus Amod, as you said, he nearly won the last SuperSport 300 race, but just missed out on the line to Brodie Gorth. So he's going to really dig deep this time out.
So the championship standings coming into this race, a 14-point lead for Cameron Swain over Brodie Gorth. So Cameron Swain, if he finishes somewhere near the front, will wrap up the championship and do the double exactly the same as Cameron Duncan did just 12 months ago at this very same circuit, and make it 2 Camerons that have done the double in the R3 Cup Supersport 300 Championship. But Brodie Gorth and Henry Snell, the Megacycle team, are not going to let him have it easy. And Geordie Simpson looking to make it another podium and his first race win of the season.
Yeah, absolutely. He'll be dearly wanting that, especially considering this is his home track. So Geordie Simpson going to hang everything out this time, I reckon. Henry Snell there, just at the back of that group with Marcus Amod in 5th position. Nothing in it between these guys. Nice and smooth. Down the hill they go into Michelin corner for the hard braking for the first time. But it is Swain who's smooth and on the brakes and holds that lead into that second last corner, the Michelin corner on this track.
Only 9 points separate the Megacycle, the teammates Brodie Gorth and Henry Snell in the championship as well, as they battle for 2nd and 3rd position. Oh, very wide there. Who was that? Was that Ryan Larkin, I think, that was extremely wide on board bike number 68, coming out of the line on the speed. Lucky to pick the bike up on the tarmac and not journey off into the grass, as we saw a few riders have done so far this weekend. And Marcus, from 5th place at the entry to turn 1 on lap 1, is now into the lead.
He says thank you very much and does a very good job too at that. Ryan Larkham was one of those riders that ran off into the dirt in the 300 Supersport race too, so it's good to see him back out there. Sam Pizzetta, now he's had an action-packed weekend. He must be feeling pretty good about his weekend so far. It's fair to say that he's back in form.
Cameron Swain leads them across the start-finish line. Where will he be as they come down into AWF corner? Looks like Gorth, Snell and Marcus have all managed to go past. Geordie Simpson trying to do the same as well. He's right on the very left-hand side of the circuit. So Swain has gone from the lead back to, what's that, 6th position. Fastest lap 2:09.8 on that last lap for Cameron Swain.
That's a pretty impressive lap time for him, and what makes that impressive is the fact that he was leading over the line, but then, you know, he did that fast lap time, but then got passed by about 5 guys. So, you know, it's just the nature of the slipstreaming in this class.
The current lap record for the R3 Cup is a 2:08.944. So they're about 9/10 of a second off that lap time currently. That record was set back in December 2021 by Ben Baker.
Not ideal out there conditions at the moment to set lap record times. The track conditions are very, very hot at the moment, and even if that means you've got better grip, hot weather means you've got less engine performance, so these bikes need as much engine performance as they can have. So cooler weather normally gives these bikes a little bit more oomph down the straight, which makes a big difference in this case.
Got a new turn of speed this weekend, has Geordie Simpson. Great to see him consistently running at the front.
Well, he's starting to get a taste of the podium now, and he knows how much fun it is and how much adrenaline he can get from it. So you can just be assured that he's not going to back off. He's been doing a lot of riding with his brothers as well at various go-kart tracks around South Australia. One just down the road here, one up at Port Gawler, which is on the opposite side of the city from here. So, you know, these boys have been spending a lot of time on the bikes. And, I mean, when you've got 3 brothers that are all, you know, as fast as these guys are, it really does help lift your level.
Yeah, I was watching him on a supermoto at the Minato track just up the road here on the other side of Murray Bridge not too long ago. All 3 of them were very fast on their motard machines that weekend, as Henry Snell goes back into the lead. But Brandon Demery's just managed to claw his way forward. Demery, what about the drive out of Honda Corner for Brandon Demery on board bike number 11? The Race DNA machine has joined that team at the last round. That team's the ones that have bought all Brandon Demery's old bikes and spare parts and everything, because he had quite a collection of them after racing and building Yamaha R3s for many, many years now. Of course, a mechanic at the Moto City dealership in Wollongong. So down the hill we come, Steve. Geordie Simpson is slot back. The good news is that Sam Pizzetta is still hanging on to the back of this group in 7th position.
Yeah, it certainly is. Things are going to get serious next time out as we enter onto that last lap. But when you look at it, it's Marcus Ahmad who has been majority at the front of this race. He hasn't had a win yet this weekend, but it looks like he's pretty hungry to get one.
So Cameron Swain sits in perfect position to take advantage of the slipstream. Remember, he doesn't have to win this race to secure the R3 Cup Championship and do the Supersport 300 R3 Cup double, but he will want to take the championship from the top step of the podium. He's got a lot of riders that are going to challenge him for that, though, as they come down into turn 1. He wasn't really able to move forward. Geordie Simpson has taken the lead as we start the last lap.
Yeah, I mean, there's a bottleneck for Cam Swain now. Like, everyone's just starting to spread out and get desperate. This is, you know, Swain's at the back of the pack. It's going to be pretty difficult for him to get past, but every time we say that, he finds a way through. He's that sort of rider.
Both Demery and Snell go down the inside. Marcus goes down the inside as well. Moves up to 3rd position.
Yeah, nice move there by Marcus Ahmad.
Puts himself between the megacycle entries of Brodie Gorth on 25 and Henry Snell on 12. Still Geordie Simpson that leads.
And look at Demery. He's really having a crack right on the back wheel of Snell at the moment.
Through the fast right Hunters we've just gone, and we're coming down now to Honda Corner.
Another big move by Hamad.
Geordie Simpson is still managing to hold off the rampaging pack of R3s as they make their way down towards Alpine Stars Corner for the final time. He slipped back now as the Hammer takes the lead. Oh, the Megacycle men, how did they get through there without touching each other?
Well, you said that a little bit too early. They did make it, but who knows?
I think they may have touched each other as well.
Yeah.
It is Snell up into third place. But Snell sits in third place in the championship. Brody Gorth is in second.
Demery tried to nip up the inside of Geordie Simpson there. Didn't quite manage that. Got to think now that it's going to be down to the top 4 guys. There's no way that Cameron Swain can win from here, is there? He's in 6th or 7th position.
Well, I've doubted it before. I'm not going to say anything until they cross the line.
Look at Hamad. Hamad's got a decent lead now.
The Hammer comes through the final corner and sets sail for the finish. The Megacycle guys trying to get to the slipstream. They can't do it, and the Hammer will take the win. The final win of the season goes to Marcus Hamad on the Motor City entry. Look at the body language. How happy is he with that one? He finally gets a win this weekend in the R3 Cup Championship. But Cameron Swain is your champion for the Yamaha R3 Cup. He does the Supersport 300 R3 Cup double, the second time in 2 years that's been done by a rider named Cameron.
What a brilliant job by Cameron Swain. What a weekend he's had. Just amazing for such a young talent. Wow. So impressed. You know, when you see him standing on the side of the street, or you see him out and, you know, just talking to him and run into him, he's quite a, you know, quiet gentleman. But you put him on a motorcycle and he's an animal.
Well, Cameron Swain wins the championship on 297 points. Brody Gorth does secure second in the championship. And Henry Snell should finish in second place in the championship. I think Marcus will eventually finish in 5th position, just behind Brendan Demery. So Demery will finish in 4th place in the championship on 265 points. But it was very, very close there at the end. The Hammer taking the win by 0.345 of a second over Brody Gorth, with Henry Snell in 3rd. The round win will go to Cameron Swain, with Marcus in 2nd place, tied with Brody Gorth on points. But the win for the Hammer in the last race is the one that secures the 2nd place in the championship. But there's no doubting the man on board bike number 26 has done the double. The Supersport 300 and R3 Cup double for 2023 goes to Cameron Swain, the Caboolture Yamaha rider. So he'll be celebrating doubly tonight.
Yeah,
after wrapping up 2 championships in the one weekend.
Yep, what a year for him. Do you know what he's doing next year?
No idea what he's doing next year, but I know he'll be celebrating tonight, Steve. Marcus Hamad will also be celebrating tonight as he takes the final win of the R3 Cup season over Brody Gorth and Henry Snell. Geordie Simpson eventually finished in 4th place. Cameron Swain in 5th. Brandon Demery in 6th. Sam Pizzetta in 7th. Ryan Larkin eventually finished in 8th. Harry Watts in 9th. And Will Nassif rounds out the top 10.
Valentino Nezovic in 11th. 12th is Ryder Gilbert, the young South Australian. Calvin Moylan in 13th. 14th is Leakin Knight. Chard Plowman in 15th. 16th is Georgia Stevens from South Australia. And Phoenix Agar takes out that final position in 17th.
Riders are making their way back into the AMX Superstores podium area, and the Megacycle riders doing synchronised burnouts there.
Last time they'll be riding this machines too, because both of those guys are riding overseas next year. I think they've both signed up for the Leon Haslam race school. So Marcus Hamad won't be using that slick tomorrow, that's for sure.
No, I think that one won't even be able to be sold as a second-hand slick. That'll be about 5th hand by the time the Hammer's finished with it.
I reckon he might just put that one on the wall at home as a bit of a reminder, sign it, race win.
And even a stoppie on the carpet into the AMX Superstores podium. There he gets the congratulations from his dad, Anth. So Cameron Swain takes the win in the championship by 10 points over Brody Gorth. Henry Snell finishes in the top 3 as well. So the 2 Megacycle riders, a great season from them. Brandon Demery in 4th place, Hamad in 5th, Sam Pizzetta in 6th, Geordie Simpson in 7th, Harry Watts in 8th, Lincoln Knight top 9 in the championship, and Jay Russo, after not competing at all rounds, rounds out the top 10 ahead of Ryan Larkin.
Yeah, good to see Ryan Larkin there up there in the 11th spot. But for now, we're going to head down to Kate on the podium.
Cameron Swain, we meet again. Congratulations, you are the Yamaha Finance R3 Cup Series winner. You've done the double championship this weekend. Yeah, you must feel great. And that burnout was quite nice too.
Oh, that wasn't my burnout. But, I mean, to take double championships, I'm the first person to ever win the Oceania Junior Cup, plus take the double 300 Supersport and R3 Cup championships, which feels absolutely amazing to do. That'll be in the books forever. So, but you know, that race, I knew what I needed to do. I finished 5th place. I won the first 2 races, which put me in a safe position heading into this last one, and I just brought it home. And the whole year's been absolutely insane to be able to bring home these 2 titles. And once again, all the blood, sweat and tears. Thanks to all my family, everyone that supports me, all my friends, all my sponsors. I love you all. Thank you so much.
So good, very nice words there.
Thank you.
And in P1 for the race, Marcus Hammett. Get zipped up and come on over, my friend. Well done. Great weekend for you.
Yeah, that was an awesome way to finish it off. But yeah, I just want to say a special thank you to Wayne Maxwell for all the coaching in the back half of the year. Yeah, I really want to say a big thank you to everybody behind me. And yeah, I'm so happy right now, but yeah, I'm just lost for words.
Right, well, you can go and relax now for a little bit.
Thank you.
All right, in P2 for the race and P2 for the championship, Brodie Gorth. Great season, my friend.
Yeah, it's a good season. Tried my best all weekend. I feel like I did pretty well. Unfortunately, that last race, just another rider just lost a bit of time coming up onto a pass, but did my best I could, so I can't complain. Just like to thank everyone for all the help over the year, mum and dad especially my teammate Henry Snell, who's been a big help all year. And it's been so much fun. Yeah, can't thank anyone enough.
Yeah, well done.
Thank you.
And in P3 for the race and for the championship, Henry Snell. Great to see you back on the podium. A good way to finish the year.
Yeah, really good, great race at the end there. Happy to get a podium and 3rd for the season. Super unlucky with that Supersport race again, but yeah, that's just racing. Just like to say massive thanks to Michael McLean, Sahas, and Mike Hibbett, and just everyone that helps me, Ken, Dad, Trevor, Rod, Grandma and Granddad for coming down to watch. My teammate Brodie is a real help throughout the whole season, but yeah, just massive thanks to everyone that made it possible. Couldn't really do it without them.
Well done.
Thank you.
Well, thanks very much, Kate. Great to hear from our top 3 and also our champion for 2023. And as you said, the first rider to ever do the Oceania Junior Cup, R3 Cup, Supersport 300 double. Of course, Cameron Dunker did the double last year. Certainly a bit of a theme going on there. And pressure on the person that comes out to try and do it in 2024.
Yes, indeed. Steve Martin, wow, what a massive season. What a massive weekend at the Bend.
Oh, absolutely, Kate. I mean, I'm always so emotional when I come to these rounds. I mean, the final round of the year, I'm so happy, you know, when I see guys like Troy Herfoss and how deep he's dug in the year. And then on the other hand, I'm so emotionally upset for, you know, the Waters team. But then there's young guys like, you know, the Dunkers and the Swains that have won. So happy for them. And then you see the others that could have won and didn't. So, you know, like it's just one of those emotional roller coaster years. But that's why we do it, because we love it.
Exactly. Well, a huge thank you for having myself and for Steve and for Phil Harlem as well. The My Bike Motorcycle Insurance Australian Superbike Championship presented by Motor. And we will see you next year. Have a great Christmas.